see that? Here we are again.
We don't even know why.
No. I'm Eric Wingman Peterson.
I'm Robin Leach. No, wait.
Yeah, on your and we're the lifestyles of the broke and senseless. This is episode 96 of Wingman's Hangar. Rob Designopotamus, Irving.
Me that.
We're telling you everything we do on a week-to-week basis on the making of Descent Underground as we reboot the classic 6 Degree of Freedom game, or IP Descent. So if you're new to the show, that's what we do. First of all, we want to thank you guys for joining us on this adventure. All the people on Kickstarter, Steam, GOG, if you've got the game, what's going on, where you come from, welcome. Thank you very much for being here. A little small thing that we've done this week, week in review, with small minors getting into the game.
Small minor bot. An awkward transition.
You know, whatever. It's an awkward show.
Okay, so week in review.
What are we doing this week? Well, the small minor apparently is getting into the game.
Cool.
Yeah. We have the computer center for the single player version is
getting
coat of paint. Yeah, it's really getting some computers put in there, stuff like
now
that.
We're gonna blow it up.
And we've got the first 3 Meet the Ships videos, which are really, really cool. I mean, I think that Keith and Mike did a really good job of those, and Kaji as well. Well, let's just take a look at this week's studio snapshot. All right, cool. Nice to see what's in Studio Snapshot each week. I know you guys don't know it, but we totally messed up and we cut that part out.
It's the only way I know what I'm doing is watching it on video.
Well, let's go back a week. What else are we doing this week? We've got the training mission.
It's
really
has
good.
been redone.
Oh my God, it's so much better. Hopefully by the time you see this is Improving Grounds. We've got a sexy new computer voice. What's her name? Isis or something?
Iris. Believe me, I hate Iris because I've listened to Iris thousands of times.
We've got a friend of Winglets who wants to. She's got an English accent. She wants to do the voice in there, so we may record her to do this because right now we're doing text to speech. I think, right, Keith? Yeah. And again, these are all things that are done temporarily to get you guys in and playing it, which will be replaced later. So
we thought about having Eric do an English accent, but
you
don't want to go there.
Knob.
You don't want to go there.
Knob.
See, you don't want to go there. Or we could have Keith do an Irish accent. It would be just as
even
tragic.
Worse. So you're working on the single player objective system.
Yeah.
So that our missions don't take like code every single time, or
You're still going to take code, but we're trying to make it so that you don't have to be a programmer to write a mission. And that is, if we put enough framework behind it, the training mission was a good
stupid enough for me
point.
to make a mission? Not possible?
Probably not.
Oh, well, sorry, me's out there, you're screwed. You bleeping knob. The maze is dead.
I have killed the maze.
The maze is dead.
The maze is gone.
There's no more maze. And we're not talking about corn.
Corn?
Corn. That's the maize is the Indian word for corn.
Wow.
More blow-uppy bits. We're working on more blow-uppy bits. Things that explode.
I'm firing this.
You're out of here. No, let them suffer through this. They joined for this.
The end.
They joined for this garbage. Come on, man.
I don't think they joined for this.
Yeah, I bet not. We're also working on more bots for single player. I think Lou's right now got a concept up for the large loader he's working on right now, and that's interesting. We're talking about like amorphous shapes, like something that is not amorphous shape, something that is a little different.
Anthropomorphic.
If I can't spell it, I'm not allowed to say it. You bleeding knob. All right. By the way, speaking of, we talked earlier about like all these Meet the Ships things, and if you've played Overwatch, you'll see they have all the Meet the People. So we thought, a lot of things that are missing in our game right now, we kind of throw you right in, especially newbies. They're like, how do I do that? And so the training mission is going to help with that, but also the roles the ship play, like the various specials they have, and they all have specials, are not real obvious to people. Like how did the Wasp drop the turret, or how did the Panzer bring up the shield?
The what?
The Wasp drop the turret.
Did you say turret?
Turret.
It didn't sound like turret.
Turret.
It sounded like it ended in D.
We're going to go
That's
to
all I'm gonna say.
turret. The turd?
That's what it sounded like.
Well, it comes out in the same area.
Saying.
I love my turds.
But Goliath is in charge of that.
Yeah. So we're really. This is not a good segue into beautiful corner.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Check out this beautiful. All right, so let's take a look at one of the three we've got done now, or in the progress we're working on. Let's take a look at the Panzer.
Combat prospecting is a dangerous line of work. Enemies lurk around every corner, ready to strike. One sturdy, armored spacecraft stands ready to shield its teammates, the Panzer. First sold in 2314, the Panzer is the latest in a long line of heavy defensive drones from Keanu. The Panzer mounts a first-of-its-kind blast shield tool that can protect ships behind from attack. As strong as it is, the blast shield is vulnerable to ballistic weapons like the Vulcan and frag cannons. The Panzer also carries twin laser grids and 4 proximity mines. Powerful, fearsome, and remarkably cost-effective, Keanu's V7 Panzer is a must for every up-and-coming pilot. The Panzer. Order your license today.
Okay, so now you get to see some of the stuff we're going to be doing. This is it'll be playing in a window that you'll pop up when you select a ship. It'll, it's a choice you can make, but it'll tell people what's going on. What the ship is for, what its role is,
what it does. How
it's all the little the 10 to 15% that you add in polish. It's more polish elements to help people new to the game to understand what they're going to be doing, and it's a pretty big deal because a lot of people come to our game and go, "What? How do I do this?"
It's very rich.
It is rich. It's a deep game. It's deep, and it's getting deeper. And so, rather than waiting
Roll up your pants.
Rather than waiting through it, we want to kind of give some helpers to people out there. Oh my God! And we'll give you more. What time is it, Michael?
It's time for
Forum feedback from DEF CON X, one of our undergrounders. Will evil bots and drones each have their own signature robot call? I fondly remember identifying bots by their localized robot shrieks.
Absolutely. Yes. That's just a matter of attaching a different sound for each one. And that kind of that's one of those things you hear around the corner, which gives you information if you're paying attention. And that is absolutely what we intended to do, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, the wasp should make a buzzing wasp type
The
sound.
wasp could buzz.
Well,
we should do a dev recording pack.
Well, that's the tricky bit is getting the right sound that conveys good information, but isn't, something that you're already familiar with.
Yeah, and you can hear it over that groovy hard rock beat we have in all this, music and stuff. So yeah.
Hey,
But
man, Guitar Jam is the best.
Well, what was it, the blasters in Star Wars where somebody hitting a guy wire on a
Were they really?
something like that? Yeah, it's weird how sound effects,
It's magic.
Foley
Or
is the coolest thing.
Godzilla's the scraping the stuff off the cello.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
That's a shriek. Godzilla's shriek is a.
Yeah, they use a leather glove to wipe down the strings of a cello.
Now I can hear. Now that I hear it. I can see it. That's awesome. That's. You can only get that kind of cool info here.
Or on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Why you gotta burst his bubble, man? Pixley
Nobody lies on the internet. It's all true.
Abraham Lincoln.
filled with truthiness.
Fought zombies.
We know.
Yeah. All right.
Actually,
Moving on. Next question from GBoat, also an undergrounder. Will the new map kit be based on the existing one, or will all the existing maps have to be rebuilt, and will it have more round and curved parts?
Well,
Yes. No.
So I think it's obviously a two-part question. I think he's asking people, like a lot of people have built gray box maps, and he's wondering if those are all going to have to be totally reworked, and also will there be more pieces for making round sections? Because a lot of it is fairly square or diagonal.
Well, aren't the pieces we're building meant to replace the gray box pieces?
Yeah. And it's an easy thing in Unreal Editor to zip in there and go, okay, everything that looks like this WAP, make it into this,
Yeah.
and then you've got. But that's a quick and dirty way to quickly substitute them out for prettier pieces, and then you can go back in and do hand build for stuff that you want to tweak.
The idea for us is to get you guys to be further down the beautification pipeline, so that it quickens the from you to the game step.
Mm-hmm.
And yes,
and there will be more
curviness and everything, but it's mostly the challenge is because these are such intricate maps, you need to keep it gritty. And if it's on the grid, if it's not on the grid properly, then you end up with a tunnel that wraps back around and runs into nothing. So there's a balancing act, but we were working on adding more of that kind of stuff. Yes.
Because when you're grid aligned, it's easy to stay grid aligned, and when you're grid misaligned, it's easy to stay that way.
Yes.
You're eternally grid misaligned once you're grid misaligned.
We'll just trust the client, right, Tyler?
The client should have no influence over that whatsoever. That goes way beyond simple trust.
No, but always trust the client. Remember?
That's the rule that we do not follow.
That is the opposite of stuff.
At the same time, let's assume he's right.
All right. Before we go anywhere scary there.
Yeah.
Question from In Spades. Are there plans to address griefing, like turning off friendly fire and teammate collision?
So basically just kick Eric out?
Well, that could be another thing, is like a vote or kick system, although that's obviously more complex to implement.
Is on the list, certainly.
Yeah. The first bit about griefing. Friendly fire is interesting. Friendly fire is not on except for explosions.
Yeah, it's a three-way setting that we probably should. It's on the list also to implement. It's a matter of time and resources. But the original idea was to have on, off, and where we have it now, which is.
So if we turned it off now, if we turned off splash damage now, there'd be no way to kill yourself if you're stuck somewhere, right?
Well, there still is.
Well, there's the secret control mapping, which is going to be fixed so you can't accidentally trigger it. But yeah, there are ways to get yourself killed.
Enter the Nintendo
that
code.
Sounds like a challenge. I'm sure somebody can figure out how to accidentally trick it.
The Capcom code.
You just have to deliver it. That's all.
Up, down, down.
There's no start button on a keyboard, Rob.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Enter? No. I have a start button. Look,
Where's the
it's
any
right
key?
there. I have a start button.
That's upside
the
down.
Windows
That's a
key.
start button.
But it says start on it.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking.
Anyway.
Who's looking right now from the keyboard?
For a start button, I'm not
The
looking.
other major component of this is, of course, that turning off friendly fire completely does significantly change the dynamic of the mega, to where its conservative use is no longer required, because it's like,
Yeah, but then you
there's
can
a
fire
giant
it into
furball.
Then you could fire it into a furball and your teammates survive, and you're.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't know. It might be kind of fun. I don't know if we've ever tried it like that though.
Well, there are other games certainly where there are
Most of them have no
system.
friendly fire. Friendly fire is off. Like every first-person shooter I've played, unless you're playing hardcore, friendly fire is just off.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't say most, but yeah,
Well, there are
definitely-
plenty.
I think okay. So
Depends on the
it
style.
also stops trolling too. By the way, which
True.
could be a problem in our game. You could literally just fire missiles follow a guy around and fire missiles into your teammates. So maybe that's
believe me, that happens in World of Tanks. The trolls are there, but they're
But
few
they have
far
an
between.
auto system that, if you kill somebody on your team, you get flagged.
right. But we don't have that. So if we did the
Yeah.
demo, if we released the demo with that, I mean, we're really opening up to people being out there to, the griefers to kill our gameplay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's something to consider. I think we should seriously think about at least running it through PG and let us know what they think.
Yeah.
I don't want to have, I don't want millions of people playing our game. That'd be bad.
All right.
Something to consider. I mean, literally something
Yeah.
we should probably take a look at pretty soon.
All right. Moving on. A question from Error Code 53, who comes to us from Steam. Are Descendent Studios and Fever Pitch Studios working on a game together?
No, Fever Pitch Studios is a company I used to own, or I still do own actually, and it's got Conquest Frontier Wars. And so what we did is we took Conquest, Steam approved it, and we put it up as an early access and bundled it together with Descent, so that the money we get from a bundle there helps fund our development. So it's more like a project I've had sitting around that I needed to get back up for people to see. So Fever Pitch is just me, where Descendant is everybody but me. It's pretty much all the guys you see here, and then others that are working on the game. So no, there's no Fever Pitch Studios. It's just me.
Okay.
Only
Moving on.
Zool.
Hmm? What?
Only Zool.
Only Zool.
Only Zool. I'm the keymaster.
I am Groot.
That's better. I'm throwing out Ghostbuster references. Of course, I guess they did the Ghostbuster Girls show last year. So.
All right. So, next question from Pyroface. I saw the core shooting demo. Yeah, Pyroface. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Pyroface, Pyroface.
It's my Pyroface prerogative.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Oh man, we got Lady Gaga and everything.
I know, my references are on point today.
Yeah, at least we're relevant. Apparently.
Okay, back to Pyroface's question.
Oh, right, there's a question. Go.
I saw the core shooting demo last week. What does it shoot, and can I shoot those at people?
It shoots lightning balls. And currently, no, you cannot. They still need a little work. They're not glowy enough, but you'll see them again make an appearance in the training mission as well.
Cool. Although I think they do less damage in the training mission, right?
Oh, they do way less damage in the training mission. They will kick your butt in that little demo level.
Oh, right. And that's not the. I mean, that's not the final.
That's not the core
either.
That's just
core.
No, that core was the art we already had. I was just using it as a test bed, and it also was a good way to test getting it to shoot from wherever I wanted, which was the lengthy process. But it does the trick for now. There will be a better core.
Cool.
For the best core shooting, you got to come to Descent Underground.
Well, and the thing with the shield. Where you got to bring down the shields and stuff.
Yeah, the 3-tiered. Well, let's not tell everybody away because our competition might be watching.
That also will be.
I've already heard there's a survival mode coming somewhere else.
That already can be hooked up to the core that we have in there as well. So it's all ready for that.
That's the disco ball core. That's just for dancing.
It's for testing.
Yeah.
All right.
Also not a planned player weapon.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Well, maybe down the road, maybe phase 2.
Maybe an
lightning cannon, a Tesla gun.
That's what I said planned. That's what
Tesla gun.
Pixley's like.
All right. So moving on. Next bit from GBoat, an undergrounder. Is it possible to see a kind of bug summary or bug tracker on the website?
Yeah, it is, but right now we don't really. Internally, we use like Trello and we use Git to track these things for ourselves. We could put that up on the website, but then that's taking time away from actually developing the game. So, and then what happens when you do stuff like that is you put this up on the website and say, okay, here are the bugs we're addressing. And then you've got people getting pissed off because you're not addressing the particular bug that they're most interested in you addressing. So, like, why aren't you doing this? Is clearly more important. We already have a bit of this. We banned a guy last week because he wanted the game exactly like he wanted it. Only he wanted it. And I talked to him for an hour, and he was an absolute jerk. So I just said, forget it. You're out. Don't want that toxicity. So that's something we could share. I don't know if we're going to. There's no reason not to, other than we don't want people. We don't want to have to deal. There's a 30% hit on development by doing this with the community. It takes 25 to 30% of our time to do this rather than just go out to a dark room and make the game. So anything you add to that sort of thing adds more time away from the development of the game.
Well, not to mention just development of whatever page or portal the user
That's another
can see
thing.
that
Well,
through.
we could open up Git or something. We could publish what
Do
we
a
use.
read
and let
only
them-
kind of.
Yeah, so there are companies that have done it, and it is. I'm not saying no because it may be something that we look into in the future.
Maybe closer to actual beta, where
Yeah. I
where
think it's a
we're
good
not
idea.
present.
time and the need to do that.
I think it's a good idea as long as people, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Because you have to trust. Majority of the people are good folks. They're going to be understanding and part of it. But then there are some people that are just toxic that are going to use that in some way to bring their narrative or their negative message towards you. So you have to kind of weigh those options.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what those people have to work with. They're going to bring the negativity anyway. So
Well, I know, but the point is they can infect other people.
That's true.
You can say something enough. You can say mission accomplished enough to where people actually think that that's what happened. When the reality, it's like you.
So it's like
because
the
what happens-
trolling proto molecule.
Yeah, because you have to be able to, because what'll happen, here's what happens, right? Somebody will say, you need to be doing this now. So then you go in and take 30 minutes to write this is why we're doing it this way. This is what's going on. And then people go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And you get a lot of responses, makes sense, blah, blah, blah. And I know this from Star Citizen, by the way. This is all something we learned there. So then a week will go by, and nobody goes and reads that thread, which has that bit in there, which has all the dialogue. So we already have folks right now that are going, what are you doing with the game? What's going on with single player? And so I'll say, hey, we're making this game. You're not making the original Descent. We're like, no, we've said we're not making the original Descent from the beginning. We're basing on the core of what made the first one good. And we're doing leveling, we're doing unlocks and things like that, to up a level. Now, everybody here watching the show probably knows that. But most people coming in now don't, and that's buried somewhere else. So then we end up answering that question 58,000 times, and that's again time suckers. So it really is a matter of managing your time.
Now, to be fair, we do have some great people in our community who will point people at those things. But
I don't think that's a situation at all in our community. Don't get me wrong. I think this is fine. But I've been in other places where it got out of hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the other major thing about us being in early access is that because we've been in early access for so long, almost a year and a half now, there's a lot of information that's woefully out of date. And it's, like there are only so many articles about Descent Underground, and they're from varying time periods, so people have varying perspectives on what the game's supposed to be like right now. And oftentimes people also take this is what we want to do as we're in early access as this is what's in the game right now.
Well, I mean, we get beat up a little bit on saying we have epic single player campaign, even though we've got the 16 mission, let's just say 16 missions that we're working on, and it's coming. And people seem to forget that EA means early access. And so you kind of take a little, if you take just full disclosure, if you take our negative rep on Steam, the number of our negative reps we've had, 70% of those say, where's the bleeping single player? And it's like, well, we're early access. We told everybody we're doing multiplayer first and we're doing single player, but it doesn't matter to the person who bought the game a month ago. They don't give a crap. They see epic single player. They're not going to research it. They're not going to go through and look. And that it's not really their fault. People will say, oh, it's your fault, you dumbass. You're not looking it up. That's not true, because what do I say, Tyler? It's always our issue, right? It's always something we have to deal with. And so maybe there's a better way we could communicate that. Either maybe put some sort of roadmap in the actual game itself. That's something we've considered. I don't think our messaging is completely on point, unless you're watching the show, which you're completely caught up on. But the majority of the people that are playing our game are not watching the show. I know. I can't believe it. Why aren't
the majority of people everywhere are not watching it?
Yeah.
Whether they're playing the game or not.
But the point is that Tyler's right. You sort of, if you go and you just cursory look over something, press buy, and then you expect something and you don't get what you expect, and your inclination is to go, without actually researching it, that's not really their fault. It is a little bit their fault, but it's not fair of us to put it back on them, because that means that our messaging is not, hey, we are doing single player. Hey, this is what's coming, but there's nowhere for them to find that unless it's buried on page 7 or something like that. And that's not easy for them to find. So, and hey, if you have a suggestion of how it would be better to get that out to people, let us know, because that's our biggest bugaboo right now. Bugaboo.
Word of the day
Bugaboo.
is bugaboo. When you hear
Da-da-da!
it scream
You
really
said
loud.
Bugaboo!
Is there any questions left? I've forgotten
Yeah,
what we're doing.
I have one more question. The question from no. Okay, I think this guy's Shia LaBeouf.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
How can people dodge the mega missile? I see people do it, but it follows me forever and I die.
That's
So-
the first problem. Don't run away from the mega missile.
Yes, exactly.
Towards the mega missile.
Okay, so here's a Pixley's semi-pro tip. I can't call it a pro tip because I'm terrible at this game sometimes.
Like the last couple
It's
of weeks.
easier to dodge a mega missile if you fly like kind of towards it, but like, so say this, my fist right here is the mega missile and it's coming at your ship. But instead of turning around and running away from it and like flying like normal flight where you're just pitching and yawing and stuff, that makes it really easy for it to follow you. But instead, if you fly towards it and like down and right or down left, like other directions, like
Slide.
strafe towards it,
Yeah.
like strafe towards, but also away from it, then it goes straight past you because it can't turn around in time and it loses
It's
sight of
already
you.
against walls. Right.
Yeah.
You can also, by the way, use V for rear view and go backward. If it's chasing you, go backwards towards it and dive out of the way at the last moment too.
Mhm.
And you
If
can
you're
also use cover because it does check its target very frequently. So if
Yeah, of course, then it hits the
loses
cover
you and it
close
goes
enough.
past. Well, if it
Let's
loses
try
you,
our
it'll
friendly
try to
fire.
acquire a new target. The other thing you can do that it takes a little bit more advanced notice if it's coming across a room. Drop a laser grid that will stop it cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or a triple D. A triple D will cause it to lose target.
This is true.
And a
Although it'll
scrambler.
still fly straight
Scrambler will
through the
eventually.
triple D, right?
It will fly through it, yes, but
It will fly
not
through
have a
it, but-
target.
Yeah, it will fly through it, but it can't see through it. So
Yeah.
if you drop one and then go down a hallway,
Yeah.
then it's not
But
gonna
the
follow
laser
you.
grid, like Rob said, it will completely block it. Like if it blows
it'll
up.
blow
on
up. Yeah.
But the
Which,
explosion
we're about
comes through
to.
it.
Weren't we gonna fix that? We should fix that.
Maybe we will. Yeah. Who
It should
knows?
block the missile, but not the explosion.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. It should, except it's a wall. I don't know. I mean, it's tough because walls block explosions.
It's not a wall.
Except, how do you make a wall out of lasers, Eric?
It's because it's a.
I don't know, but we have one.
It's future.
Can't you see the little magic black box in the center of the laser grid?
The future
Yeah,
is
it's
full of
using very micro thin transparent aluminum.
Oh, so now it's an Omni tool. It
Why
3D
not?
prints.
And wait till
there
it
you
starts shooting the Tesla weapon, Tesla cannon out the middle of it.
Oh my.
It would take entirely too long to explain why Tesla cannons is a tilting concept for me.
This might be
For
the most far afield forum feedback ever.
No.
And listen, but the one
sadly,
thing, but
no.
the thing is, if I think the messaging question is a good one though. If we could, if there's a topic I would like to have discussed by folks out there with some ideas, it is the messaging. How best to message you who are paying attention, how best to message those who aren't paying attention, and make it easy for them to find it. You know.
And actually, I think there is a thread on the forum started by OG Pyrojockey, I believe. I'll see if I can find a link to it, and I'll give it to Michael. Maybe he can put it up on the bottom
That's
of the
good.
screen here.
That's good because that is our thing. I mean, like we've even had people complain about us only giving information during Wingman's Hangar and Hangover, or even the Let's Play. But the truth is, that's the easiest, most direct communication we can have with folks is like this, or even playing the game, which is we're coming at the end of the show with you guys and have your questions ready and be part of the process. I mean, I do understand people would like someplace on their own time if they're not available to come read it or not have to watch a video.
It reaches a much smaller audience, unfortunately, when we do that.
But it,
Yes,
yeah,
you're right. I mean,
it's-
that's,
the trick there is though that one blog takes potentially as much time as the show.
it's a
Yeah.
time management thing.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
doing 3 or 4 blogs very quickly added up. We used to do that and it was
We did more
taking
blogs,
a lot
but
of time.
Right. It did take a lot of time. We had more people
Yeah.
though. We had people that could be dedicated to doing some blogging, and now we're sort of trimmed down to the people working on the project for the most part.
Yeah. So like now when you see blogs, it's because those of us doing it have done it in our free time.
What's free time?
It's where I'm supposed to play video games, but instead I'm tired.
Where I choose not to sleep.
Yes, I know that free time.
All right, cool. So it's always fun to do
Cool.
forum
We
feedback.
sure do ramble.
Yeah, we do. And we miss Lou this week because he's got a sore throat.
He never talks anyway.
No, we
How can we miss him?
I know. How did he get a sore throat if he doesn't talk? What's going on with that, Lou? Anyway, so that is time for this week's Most Valuable Post.
Welcome to Most Valuable Post, where we recognize a member of our community who's made a positive contribution to Descent Underground. This week, we honor a new user who played the game for the first time recently, and they gave us a lot of great, detailed feedback on their experience. So congratulations, Afroholic78. You made this week's Most Valuable Post.
Cool. Congratulations, Afroholic78. And those are there's some good feedback in there.
We appreciate the feedback. We always have. I mean, we've spent this time with the community interacting with us. That makes it better.
Speaking of that, we really do appreciate constructive criticism and feedback. That is welcome. That is something we want to do. We don't appreciate the trolls. I think I had a guy that's been trolling us a little bit. We've banned how many people? 4 people in 2 years. 4. So.
You have to work really hard.
Just from our side of things, if you are banned, there's a damned good reason.
We don't care if you disagree with us.
No,
if you
disagree
do it
is fine.
constructively.
Yeah. But if you're gonna sit there and be an asshole, you can play the game, but when you buy the game, you don't buy the rights to our forums. You don't buy the rights to Steam forums or our Facebook page. And just sometimes it's better to cut cancers out. So I'm just telling you right now, not that we're doing it a lot, but I have played whack-a-mole the last week with this one guy particularly, and his criticism was decent, and there were some good things in there. And I talked to him and tried to talk him off the fence, and all I did was go ballistic and nuclear everywhere else. And you're like, well, all right, fine, dude, I tried. And you're out.
The internet.
I know, love the internet. But you know what? Off of that subject to something positive. Starfighter Inc. is back.
They're back.
Our buddies, David Westman, those guys are doing. They're relaunching their Kickstarter. They took a year to make the project better, and they're doing it. We suggest you go support them. Take a look at this. Here's a little bit of their video.
Our idea was to take hardcore science and apply that to basically a next generation space sim. Our game is going to be different because we're not going to rely on all of the other tropes that we've seen in science fiction, like shields and faster than light travel and artificial gravity. Our demands mean that we have to really look deep into the design and find new ways to make the game exciting and fun, and we think we've done that with Starfighter Inc.
We're not making shit up. We're doing our homework. We're studying the engineering. We've hired an engineer to design our spacecraft and weapon systems. He knows the math. It checks out. Everything in the game is something that could actually exist. So this game happens no matter what. We think there's a lot of you that would also love to play this game. And to help us get this game to you, we need your help. Back this project, spread the word, get your friends to help out. It's just going to make the game that much better and bring it to you that much faster.
Since the last Kickstarter was unsuccessful, we've redoubled our efforts, and we now feel we have more gameplay prototypes to show and more of a reason for people to commit to the project.
All right, so we wish Starfighter Inc. a lot of luck. As they go, they look like they're on track. They've hit the first metric. Their ask is fairly low, so I would get out there and support them. They're really good guys. They're making a hardcore space sim. We like space sims, so get out there, support them. Let them know that the space genre's back and that you want another cool space shooter. So good luck to you guys. We'll be watching. If you make videos to Descent Underground, let us know. Send them in. put them up on Facebook, post about it in our forums, and we'll bring you and we'll put them here on the show. That's cool. So these are people of the Agency Underground who are also streaming our game. We're streaming our game. Stay tuned for about 5 minutes after the show. We're going to be showing you guys playing the game with you. The cool thing about that is we get to play some of the things that require like 12, 15, 16 people. So we can build. It's really fun to play Minor Mayhem, and we've had some really good games.
Butts kicked.
We do get our butts kicked. Oh my God! And you get to see me bitch at people if they're not playing the game correctly.
You just don't want to be on his team. If we could have 11 versus 1, that would be so much fun for everyone except for one person.
You want to be on Pixley's team.
Right. Well, no, there are certain people in the community that you really want to be on their team.
Whenever we throw a Pixley at it, he usually wins. Although last week I think we got him twice, which was pretty cool. So if you are a streamer, YouTuber, let us know what's going on. We want to get you, if we want to feature your stuff, we want to help you grow as you're helping us grow. Coming up next week, Proving Grounds build. Hopefully by the end of this week or early next week, you'll have a new Proving Grounds build. Maybe it already ready to go to the... We're going to be slowing down the number of builds that you're going to be getting, by the way, because single player, we're going to go dark for a while, where single player means we're going to be focused on single player. We're not going to be piecemealing those out. So it may seem quiet on the Russian front, but
that means good things.
Yeah, it's good things. Right. We're testing a demo. We've got the demo ready to go. We're going to figure out when we're going to release it. When's the right time to get it out there? We've got some changes. There's a really big secret coming up that I think you guys are going to like, particularly those of you who want to host your own server. Yeah, a really big secret that's not such a secret
so
anymore.
good at secrets.
More single player, and something hush hush, which is not so hush hush.
I was going to say, you can just cross out the hush hush part.
Yeah. Thanks to our Underground members and backers and all you guys who bought the game and believe in us and help us out. There's other games out there like us that are friends of ours. We're trying to bring 6 Degrees back. Overload's a good one. Subs Level 0. If you like our experience, go check those out too. Subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter channels. Submit your form and Twitch, which you're watching right now, hopefully.
Right.
And submit your form, and submit your form feedback questions
to our forums.
On
our website.
And we will see them all underground. Why don't we show them one of the Meet the Ships videos in this week's Beautiful Corner?
You got a bunch of talking points.
Why don't we do this again?